Well, hello and welcome to CYE-Ignite and Families Weekend. It is so good to welcome you. My name is James.
My name is Kirsty.
My name's Anna. And my name is Lucy.
And we are the Baker family. So we thought we would get dressed up in our sailing kit because we love sailing and we thought we'd get you guys in the mood as well.
Jesus told us in Matthew chapter 28 verse 20, I am with you always. Everywhere you go and everything you do, Jesus will be there for you.
He's your loyal friend. Just knowing that Jesus is with us always can make a difference to how we act, how we live our lives, the things we do or don't do.
So we're going to investigate a bit more this week, and each day we're going to learn something that we can be, knowing that Jesus is always with us.
Today it's be obedient.
So we're going to hear a story which Jesus told.
So, we're going to hear a story which Jesus told. There once was a farmer who went to his garden to plant some seeds. He reached into his bag and he began to scatter handfuls of seed on the ground. Some of the farmer's seed fell on the pathway and the ground was so hard that the seed just lay on top. Some of the farmer's seed fell on rocky soil. Some of his seed fell among the thorny plants. And some of his seed fell on rich, soft soil. The farmer finished scattering his seeds and he looked at what happened to the seeds that he planted. Hungry birds had seen the seeds lying on the top of the ground where the farmer walked quickly. They'd snatched up the seeds that fell on the hard ground. The seeds that fell on the rocky ground with a little bit of soil grew up quickly. There was no place for the roots to grow, so when the seed quickly sprouted, the hot sun and the lack of moisture caused the seed to wither and die. The seeds that fell among the thorny bushes began to grow, but as the thorny bushes grew bigger, the roots took up more of the soil. The thorny bushes choked the life out of the young plants, and they weren't able to grow any further and have any fruit for the farmer to pick. The seeds that landed on soft, fertile soil grew into little plants, then bigger plants. Then, when it was time for the farmer to harvest, he was able to get a very good crop from the plants. The farmer was very happy about these seeds.
So, what can we learn about the story we've heard about today? Well, let's think firstly about the hard soil. That might be someone who hears God's word, but they don't believe it, they just brush it off. What about the rocky ground? Well, sometimes people, they hear God's word, they get excited, but they get distracted and they forget about God. And when difficulties come into their lives, they just give up on Jesus. What about the thorny ground? Well, sometimes people listen to God's message, but they don't allow his word to affect their lives. They let the cares of the world and the desires for other things just choke out his word in their life. And then finally, what about the good soil? When God's word is heard by people who listen and obey his words every day, he causes them to grow stronger and stronger. And as they serve him, others come to know Jesus, which is called bearing fruit. So what type of soil do you think Jesus wants you guys to be? Well, do you know, he'd really love you to be like the rich, soft, fertile soil, the people who listen and obey God's word. And there's lots of different ways that you can hear more about God. You can read the Bible, you can pray to him, you can listen to him, you can talk to others about God and what they believe. You can sing worship songs to tell him how great he is. And then you can tell other people about Jesus. and how he wants to be a friend with them too.
Don't forget that Jesus said, I am with you always. Matthew chapter 28 verse 20.